Morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, January 17th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY and CONY from Tuesday, January 16th. Okay, so here's a screenshot of the intraday export from TSLY, and there's a lot going on. And when I opened this, I was like, oh man. So I had to sit on the couch and plug in a little more numbers than I thought I had to. But in summary, the first thing I saw on the top was, okay, they're closing their synthetic position. But if you look at the quantity of contracts, it's not all of them. Okay, that's unusual. That's a first, actually, from what I've seen. So the top two, they sold the call, and they did a buy to close the put. Okay, we knew that was going to be a big hit, and it was. They only sold the call for 10 cents, and then they closed the put for $28. So again, massive hit because we were not close enough to the strike price of the synthetic. And then if you look on the bottom two, they used those new contracts. Then they started the new synthetic position, which is a 220 strike. And that's, as mentioned, that's at the money. So essentially those two prices should be a wash. But in this, yesterday, actually, the buy call cost more than the sell put. So that's more debit against us. Now, what else happened? Okay, they apparently they got 315. They were able to add 315 additional contracts to the synthetic of the 220, which they did right in the middle, and then they used those 315 right away for a new strike. Okay, so now let's plug all this into the spreadsheet. So if you look here, I now have two synthetic tabs. So I'm still using the synthetic 250 tab, as you can see right here. And on 116, I removed 12,815 contracts. Again, the buy call, it netted us 128,000 credit, but the sell put, that cost us 37.1 million. So that now got added to the January profits. So we're now in the hole for the synthetic 250, 33.6 million. Again, when we close out the remaining 25,635 contracts, that'll be an additional debit. Right now it shows 76.9 million, but we'll see when the time comes. Now they started the new synthetic. We'll call this the synthetic 220, and there's the 12,815 contracts. Again, the buy call, that cost them $18 a share. The sell put, $15 credit. So yeah, that cost them about 3.8 million to start that position. And then here they added the 315, which again cost them a little money to add those contracts. And again, it's not always a wash when you do the buy call sell put, because that just shows you that more people think it's going in the upwards direction, or there's more interest in one versus the other, of course. So here is the strike, again, 220, Tesla price at 219. So it's just under. New expiration date of the new synthetic is 2 months out. So we're looking at March 15th for that. January profits for the new synthetic is 3.9 million. Obviously, that's a debit, so it's not a profit, it's a loss. So yeah, that's where we stand with the new synthetics. We have scattered our synthetics. And just so you guys know, I think this is a good move for what it's worth, because at first I saw that they closed the synthetic. I'm like, no, Tesla's going upward. But instead, they only closed some of it because they don't know if Tesla's going to continue to go up. If Tesla continues to go up, the damage on this synthetic will be less. But if Tesla continues to go down, they'll miss out on closing any contracts that they could have for a slight discount. So I think this was a smart move in my opinion. All right, let's get to the January tab and see what happened. So as you saw from the the trade, the intraday trade, we did have an actual trade of 315 contracts. But first, let's see what the prices did. Tesley went up 0.49%. Good job, finally. We did hit the $9 mark yesterday, and I know a lot of people bought in, and a lot of people were scared. But in the end, we stayed above 10, which is really good. Tesla price went up 0.47%, so these are just kind of in line with each other. Expiration date for the 315 contracts is, guess what, this Friday. And this Friday is what, 3 trading days. They did a 227.50. That's a new position. And look at this, 3.45% out of the money with 3 trading days. I like it. I really do. Someone's listening. No. So cash and treasuries, we got, overall 4.8 million increase, but whatever. Outstanding shares did go up. I think it went up like 200,000 from the last time I inputted. So we're at 83.2 million outstanding shares. Total income from weekly calls, 17.5 million. Total distribution, we're looking at 21 cents just from weekly calls. Daily income, we're earning about 3 cents a day, and daily yield is 0.26%. So for Tesley, weekly calls, we are doing, essentially perfect, right? If we go back here and we check out the profit loss buckets, anything in gray obviously is closed. So everything in gray is green, okay? So we couldn't have asked for a better scenario for the weekly calls. If we didn't have this synthetic expiring this month, we would be like all happy, even though we're tanking at the same time, we're going down, but it's still doing it. It's good for the selling calls strategy because that's a bearish play. All right, let's look at the active positions. Now, this is the, on the top, we have the lowest strike. We have 19,140 contracts with a 225 strike. That's 2.31% out of the money. That's a lot of contracts. And again, this is, we knew that one was in risk, but Tesla barely went up. So it doesn't look that it's in danger right now, but we'll see. Again, we have 3 trading days left. Here's the new position, 315 contracts. 227.50, 3.45% out of the money. 19,145 contracts at the oddball price of 233.33. That's 6.1% out of the money. And then we have 165 contracts, 240 strike, 9.14% out of the money. So overall, great position to be in. The 2.31% out of the money, sure, that could be in danger, but the way Tesla's been moving, it's like, we're barely chugging along unless some breaking news comes out. 30-day IV, we're at 49%, so a little better than what I'm used to seeing. We have earnings coming up next week. I guess it's 1 week away, actually. Okay. 10.25 is the current Tesley price. So if all goes well this week, we're looking at 43-cent gain. Boom. I'll take it. My reaction, I got a nice little smirk because I do like the moves that they did. Okay. They did really good moves. They closed some of the synthetic when we saw some Tesla green, because they're not sure if Tesla's going to go up. So just in case, they'll close out some of it to avoid the damage. And then what they do, they added 315 new contracts. They chose a new strike price, and they added a new position above the lowest strike price. They could have just added to the 225, but they didn't. They went above it. So, and that was very, very good. Again, by the way, guys, this is just my opinion about the fund. This is not financial advice. So please don't use it as financial advice. And obviously, please do your own research. I'm just another schlep on YouTube, just covering some numbers and talking about some, sharing spreadsheets. So let's look at this. All right, so now in summary for the payment, the synthetic income you'll see is a positive amount, so it's a debit against us. Short call income, we talked about that, it's perfect. But net income is 20 million debit, 83.2 million outstanding shares. Total income per share now, we're looking at a debit. So again, we're not producing income now because the synthetic hurt us. But the short call alone, we're looking at 21 cents. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah. Oh, I think I talked about this. No, maybe I didn't. I added the prior year debit carry forward from the annual statement. They had 146 million losses to carry forward, so I added that. And now I added from the prior months, November, December, because again, the fiscal year starts November and ends in October. So now I added, the appropriate timeline to my spreadsheet. So from January, I show, again, it's in italics because I wasn't planning on tracking this, so the accuracy is debatable. I show a $70.3 million credit from January and a $27.6 million credit carry forward from February. As it stands this month, we're going to have a debit carry forward because the synthetic kind of put us underwater. But we'll see, we'll see how it ends up. Damage could be less if Tesla continues to go up, but, we shall see. But yeah, so that's TSLY. I wanted to show you the website. This is the intraday, not the intraday, the holdings now. If you pull up the holdings spreadsheet, it's insane. So now you have, 4 lines for the synthetic, and then you have a whole bunch of lines for the weekly calls, and then you have the cash and treasuries. So, when you look at this without breaking it down, it's becoming like a little, a bit much, if you ask me. But lucky for you, we got this on spreadsheets. So let's talk about CONY though. Okay, so if we go to the trades for CONY, I was happy to see just one line. Boom. Okay, I'll take it. All right, so they got a BC. That's a buy to close. And they closed the call. That was expiring January 19th, 7,660 contracts with a 172.50 strike, and they closed it out for 6 cents. So when you see this, a buy to close for 6 cents, what do you say to yourself? You say, we win, right? That was a winning play. So let's take a look. First, let's talk about the synthetic. They did nothing with the synthetic. There's no new positions. They didn't close any of the synthetic. So all I did here was update the new numbers, and I'm showing it would cost $68 million. I'm in the garage. I'm hearing some weird noises. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the week goes. But CONY and COIN did go up yesterday, so that's good. Again, the synthetic expires on Friday, and January profits from the synthetic 5.7 million. We'll get into this 7,660 down here, but basically that's unused synthetics. All right, so how did CONY and COIN do yesterday? Well, CONY went up 2.41%. Good job, CONY. And COIN went up 2.37%. And again, just like Tesla and Tesley, the market, when it opened, it was tanking again. I thought it was another red day. I'm like, oh, here we go. And I was actually going to buy some COIN. I didn't really get a chance because I was working. But then I looked up and it was green. I was like, okay, never mind. I'm not buying anymore. But yeah, what a day. So if you look on the same line, I don't have any contracts. And that's because there was none. They didn't add any new contracts. However, if I go up, I did add the 6 cents here. So the 7,660 contracts, again, they closed that out. They cost them 6 cents. But look how much they made when they opened it, $3.66 per share. So that's a dominant win right there. They ended up with a $2.7 million profit on that one play, okay? So as far as CONY goes on their weekly calls, they are also dominating. Let's see how the month goes. domination, profit, 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 profit. Again, this is what the fund is all about, right? Making the most profit you can without screwing things up, of course. All right, let's look at cash and treasuries. Actually went down. First time in a long time, cash and treasuries went down by 1 million. But believe it or not, the outstanding shares went down. Not by much, but they went down. People are being fearful, so they are selling out of CONY because they're scared coin is going to go down. Again, I don't blame them, but it's always good to just relax before you make some drastic decisions and think about, why did you originally get into this to begin with, right? Did you get into this for the capital appreciation? Did you get in it for the income? So just sit back, relax before you go ahead and take a massive loss. Like, you need to try to calm your nerves. I know, especially if you're just starting off, it's very scary. So, and who am I to tell you anything? It's your money, but just sit back, relax, just think about things. It's just because we had a bad week doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Because in the end, the underlying is Coinbase, right? I mean, you really think Coinbase is going to go somewhere? I don't know. That's up to you, I guess. All right, so outstanding shares did go down. Income from the calls, they've made 9.7 million. Awesome. Or if you calculate per share, 69 cents per share. Okay, daily income, we're looking at 9 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.41% per day. So again, dominating as far as the weekly calls go. All right, now, if we look at this, we have not much going on. I like it. Keep it simple. Just, this is the way I like it. We have 11,260 contracts with a 142 strike, 6% out of the money. This is probably the closest I've seen them in the money. Not in the money, out of the money. And this expires Friday. But if coin continues to go up, this could be in danger. We have 3 days, though, so who knows? We also have 170 strike. That's 3,060 contracts, 26.98% out of the money. I think that one's pretty safe. And then, again, they closed out the 172.50. I just left it there for informational purposes. Coin price is at 133.88 with an IV of 81%, which is outstanding. Their earnings is next month, for what it's worth. Again, CONY price staying above 20, so we're at 20.79, and I'm showing it can go up $1.20 based on the current weekly calls. And they're not even using all of their contracts. And this, I'm kind of just winking at them because, to be honest, this move yesterday, all they did was close it out, right? They closed it out. They did not start a new position. You know why? They're going to wait. They're going to see how things go today, probably. And then they'll probably open a new position. So I feel like these fund managers are starting to get it. They don't have to rush, right? A lot can happen in a day. All right, so let's look at the payment tab. So same thing, I changed it from November to October. The unfortunate part is I did not track CONY in November. So I have a note there. Unfortunately, I did not track CONY in November. Also, there was no prior year carry forward, no losses to carry forward. So that's why you don't see that. So, moving on, let's talk about December. There was a credit carry forward, at least that I show, of 1 million. Okay. That probably should be in italics. And then January, we're looking at what? Synthetic income. Again, we still have income because we did not close any part of that synthetic. 5.7 million, and then short call income, 9.7. We talked about that. Total net income, 15.5. Outstanding shares, 14.1. So total income per share, we're looking at over $1. And then short call income, we're looking at 69 cents. People keep asking me, is CONY going to pay what they've been paying? I mean, absolutely not. They're not going to pay over $2. There's no way. That would be dumb, because they're not going to make money this month because the synthetic is just going to burn them. So if they were smart, I mean, they have some credit carry forward, so they're not necessarily in the hole that Tesley is with the losses. So I'm curious to see what they're going to pay. If I was just to throw out the number, I mean, it'd be over $1, probably the mid, maybe $1.50. They probably still want to yield a respectable amount. I don't know if they want to keep it over 100%, but we'll see. That's their choice. So yeah, that's just my thought on that. So yeah, that's it for the Tesley and CONY. And overall, I'm pretty satisfied with all of the moves they did yesterday on both contracts. And a lot of people keep asking me, can you cover MSFO? Like, that's a very stable one. I want to see how that one performs. So, as far as that goes, covering other funds, I talked about this before. I just can't do it. I can't. This is like my maximum capacity, that I can handle outside of work and family life. But I can, I can get this done without killing myself now that I moved Defiance to weekly. But unfortunately, this is it. Periodically, I could throw out another extra video, but, there's no really set way. It's just like, oh, if I just happen to have this time, or I use a lunch break, but there's no way I could fit anything else into the daily, videos. The only way is if I take out CONY. I'm not going to take out Tesley. I'm going to track that the whole year just to see how it goes. But the only way is if I replace CONY with something else. But I don't think people want me to do that. I don't want to do that because CONY's an interesting one because of their IV. So that's the answer on that. So I apologize. I can't. Unfortunately, I can't track any of all of them. When I'm retired one day, sure. Then you could send in those requests, and I'll be happy to. Get myself a laptop. That'll be my job. I'll just track, funds all day and have fun with it, of course. But yeah, that's a long time away, unfortunately. All right. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please click that like button. For context, it's 4 a.m. I'm getting this video out before I commute to work. It's on the icy roads. But I'm going to launch this around 6:30 so more people see it. For some reason, when I launched yesterday's video, I don't know if it got it. I don't know if I launched it too early, so some people didn't see it. But I didn't get the feedback I usually get. So I'm going to launch this at my normal time that people expect it, which is like 6:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. or 7:30, whatever. But I know some people listen on the commute, so I'll do it 6:30 a.m. But yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed it, just please click that like button. If you want to help out the channel, one way to help out is always just, sharing the video if you're in high dividend yield groups or, things like that. Always helps. Outside of that, just leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these strikes, or let me know what you hate about these strikes. Let me know if you sold out of these funds, and if so, do you regret it or are you happy with your decision? I know I've been getting a lot of negative comments towards these funds lately, which is fine. People have the right to their opinion. But it's all good. When things go down, people tend to get worried and sell out. But again, I'm not here to tell you what to buy. I'm not what they call a Tesley lover, YieldMax lover. I'm just covering the numbers. Obviously I invest in both of these because I do believe in them. And they have made mistakes in the past, which is why we are where we are. But, it's a learning curve too. So just, have patience. Anyway, I'm out of here. I got to get ready for work. So I hope you guys have a great day. Later.